Our next running back, Kenneth Gainwell. Now, this one, you got to be a little careful here because they are on the bye. He's 77% available. And I think the other thing, Jay, that we don't know is what will Jaylen Warren's status be off of the bye. But Gainwell showed, at a minimum, when his number is called, two things. One, he'll be fine. And two, that they have no interest in going to Caleb Johnson, who they used the third-round pick on.
Yeah, Gainwell's a difficult one to get one's head around because they have the bye coming back from Europe. Suspect that Jaylen Warren, who kind of showed up on the injury report out of nowhere and then suddenly was scratched, which is brutal timing if you're a Jaylen Warren manager.
Especially on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, it's 5:30 in the morning. You know,
completely screwed.
Yeah.
But I would say
people missed it for sure. Some people slept through it.
Yeah.
The expectation would be that he's probably with 2 weeks, and the fact that it was so late, that it shouldn't be a major thing. And so, if you have Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, I think you still want Jaylen Warren as the primary guy in the Steelers' backfield. But what this shows is that if Warren does miss additional time, then Kenneth Gainwell's a locked-in starter. He's more, I think, of a desperation-y flex guy if Warren is fit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they come out of the bye and they play the Browns, right? So but I think there's a couple things here. We talked about, go back and look. I had Kenneth Gainwell, on my, on 10 lists of 10 and on preseason, others receiving votes on the love list as well, because we talked about this in the preseason, just you are going to be annoyed at how much Kenneth Gainwell plays this season. For all of you drafting Caleb Johnson out there, this is Arthur Smith we're dealing with. And oh, by the way, we're also dealing with a veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who has no problem saying, yeah, not that guy. Aaron Rodgers has traditionally shied away from rookie running backs. He wants people that are good in pass protection, that do what they say. As Suave Man says, Arthur Smith and rookie running backs, he gets it. Suave Man understands that as well. Trying to get onto the power rankings of the regular. Suave Man, it's going to do more. You're going to need to do more than that. But
it's a good start.
It's a good start, a strong start. My point here, though, is that Kenneth Gainwell got a bigger opportunity and proved, he's already played more, it hasn't turned into production. He had the touchdown 2 weeks ago, but hasn't turned into massive production. But he's been out there. And so, when they come back after the bye, and assuming Jaylen Warren is healthy, will I have Jaylen Warren ranked ahead of Kenneth Gainwell? Of course I will. But will I have Kenneth Gainwell ranked? Do I think that there's a chance that Kenneth Gainwell can have a Tyler Algier-type season in Bijan Robinson's rookie year? I do. I think, and so if you're in a deeper league, I do think Gainwell has some value, and especially, by the way, for those of you that have Jaylen Warren, he needs to be rostered if he isn't already.
Yeah, I also think I think Rodgers is pretty cooked at this point.
The average depth of target right now it's historic.
Yeah, he's gotten away. He should have been picked a lot more the first couple of weeks. I mean, he's getting it done. He still has the arm strength. He can still make throws, but he can't move anymore. There's no depth to the throws, as you mentioned. So this is a team that will need to run the ball.
Right, or just check it down over and over again. And that goes back to the point of him having he caught all 6 of his targets because that's what they are, checkdowns.
I think it would be, at full health, I think you'd see it's 65-35.
Yep.
But the Kenneth Gainwell is going to get 35% of a run-heavy, short passing yardage offense here. And so I think that has value in 12-team or deeper leagues.
One more, signs of life from Kendre Miller, who's 95% available. We've been waiting for this, and so have the Saints for a long time, in a script that, Alvin Kamara obviously dominated the snap rate, Matthew, but Kendre Miller got a lot of touches when he was on the field.
Yeah, and by the way, and not in junk time. They were competitive in this game for quite a while. By the way, Kendre Miller's snap rate has increased every single week this season. He's got 20 touches over the past 2 weeks. And by the way, in week 4, he got 2 different goal-to-go rushing attempts. He got 50% of the Saints' red zone rushes. It's a nice matchup this week against the Giants, of course, who allowed the 3rd most rushing yards to running backs this year. So potentially he's a viable flex in a week where there's four teams on a bye. But the other thing about Kendre Miller, in addition to just being sort of insurance in case anything were to happen to Kamara, I think there is a very real scenario that Alvin Kamara is not on this team in November and December, that they trade him, given where the Saints are as an offense, as a team, as an organization, and the fact that Alvin Kamara would have value to, I don't know, the Chiefs.
Right, that's the
for example, that's the obvious one that comes to mind, but there are other teams as well that could be in the market for a running back. So I think there's a couple of different paths to Kendre Miller having a real significant role on this offense, and he has looked the part so far.
The touchdown run especially was wildly impressive. Danny Halbing, how much fab we dropping on Kendre? 15%? I think you have to pay a little more right now
It depends. How
Right.
deep a league? Who else is on the waiver wire? Do you have Kamara or not? He is more valuable to somebody that
Right.
has Kamara on their roster than he is to somebody else out there. 15% sounds right, but again, it's hard to say in a vacuum without knowing. Like, if you're in a 10-team league where there's a lot of guys out there, then no, you should drop like 5%. But if it's like the league of assholes where there's like nothing, then
Scraps.
Kendrick Miller, he's a chubby leather daddy.
Yes, of
Sitting on my
course he
bench.
is. Of course he
Yeah,
is.
might actually get some run with a couple guys on by this week.
There's nothing on our waiver wire.
Nothing at all.
It is a disgrace.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brutal. Yeah. So anyway, some of the guys that might be available in our league that I'm going to be sifting through later tonight include these guys. These are all deep league guys that are available in way over 50% of leagues. Let's start with Kareem Hunt, who's available in almost 60% of leagues. How about Rashard Smith? He had an 11% target share in Week 4, season highs in snaps and touches. And by the way, just Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, they both look done. They both look dusty.
The Chiefs need someone else at running
Right.
back. Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, Rashard Smith, I don't care who it is. Someone else.
Something. And so Smith has given them a bit of a spark. He's out there in a ton of leagues. I do think there's a chance that he gets a bigger workload as the season continues to go on. We've talked about Blake Corum quite a bit as well, who got 40% of their backfield touches last week. Is so important if you have Kyren Williams. Tajay Spears, by the way, designated for return from IR. I know. Talk about offenses that need a spark. Like the Titans are just brutal. And so, maybe he gets some run. And the last one here, Connor, how about Isaiah Davis of your New York Fighting Jets?
So here's the thing with Isaiah Davis. Braylon Allen, the injury looked pretty serious after the fumble.
Yeah.
And then the fact is, right now, this is a team that if things go as bad as they've gone, Breece Hall's a free agent after this year. They're rotating Breece Hall. Is there a world where the Jets trade Breece Hall at the trade deadline? If things continue on like this, you at least pick up the phone, which is a shame because Breece Hall has been really good when they use him. But there's a non-zero chance Breece Hall is traded where if you're stashing Isaiah Davis, if you can, on your roster, you might have a starting running back that catches the ball on a team that all they want to do is run the ball for the last 2 months of the fantasy season. That's hard to find.
And isn't there a scenario, by the way, where Braylon Allen was getting some run. It doesn't seem like they want Breece Hall to be the main guy. He gets a decent amount of touches, but again, this is such a run-heavy offense that Isaiah Davis could have some standalone value, even assuming Braylon Allen is out, even if Hall is still on the roster, right?
Without a doubt. And the fact is they keep taking Breece off the field at the goal line. And Isaiah Davis, he's a pretty big back. Everybody looks small next to Braylon Allen, but this is a 225-pound running back that I think would get goal line touches.
Yeah.
So deeper stash.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.